Hey there, everybody. Welcome. All right, so I'm going to tell you just how simple this is. Yet, it's not like it's going to be a couple of sentences. There's lots of splaining to do, but this is so simple. So, if you bear with me, I'll lay this out and see if this doesn't just click in your head. So, you want freedom. That's what you want. You want your liberty, you want your privacy, you want your freedom. So it doesn't matter what rabbit hole you're down. It doesn't matter where you stand. It doesn't, because all this stuff that's going on is taking you nowhere. So here's how we take a huge leap forward. Here's how we take a huge step forward, and we take a major bite out of multiple systems that are enslaving us. And it's so simple. So you have all these First Amendment auditors out there, which these guys are doing a great job. They want to film in public. They want to hold their servants accountable. And we see time and time again where they're getting arrested. They're put in torture cuffs. They're imprisoned. And then they get in that trap with their attorneys and that system of assumption and presumption, which a lot of you know is they're not courts of law. They're essentially a bank and a morgue. They communicate with the dead, that all caps name. So for those of you who know that, you know that system is in the way of truth and law. And it needs to come down, and we need to have our courts back, lawful courts. We need accountability and justice and enforcement. So how do we take a big bite out of that? How do we take a big bite out of the bar? What about the police and their brutality and all their, turning their lights on, creating these emergencies, coming after you? How do we take a big bite out of that? What about the healthcare system that isn't really giving you cures, it's giving you treatments? And for those of you who understand what's going on, what's with the healthcare, and then it doesn't matter where you are. You're a Republican, a Democrat, a Libertarian, a Communist. It doesn't matter. If you want your freedom, you don't have to study. You really don't have to study much. It's this simple. The DEA has marijuana classified as a Schedule I narcotic, zero medicinal value, high propensity for abuse. All right. Science claims you cannot rejuvenate gum tissue. Now, right now, while you're listening to me talk, there's nothing to watch in this video at this point, and there probably won't be. You can go to the description and you can click on the links. So you can take a look at that link there for Colgate, their global science review. You can't regrow gums. Bunk. Cannabis regrows gums. You want to see the picture evidence. You want to hear the testimonial. Click on Oral Health with Cannabis. There's a live link there in the description. You should be able to do that while you're listening to this video. And on the home page there, you can see pictures of gum tissue rejuvenation. You can see pictures of calcified plaque removal. You can listen to a testimonial on gum tissue rejuvenation and tooth realignment, because when the gum tissue grew back, it got stronger and it closed the gap between the teeth. We've seen this multiple times. The point is, science cannot rejuvenate your gum tissue. Now, if you're in that Colgate article, you're going to learn that there are several reasons for receding gums. I gotta have a drink here. There's several reasons for receding gums, but the first one they list is plaques, oral plaques. And that article explained to you that these plaques, they get on your teeth and your gums. They cause your gums to become unhealthy, and they get inflamed and bleed and recede, and then when that happens, you get tooth sensitivity, and then we see the teeth separating, and they tell you how your teeth will get loose and decay. This is leading to the fillings, is leading to the root canals and the crowns, all this pain and suffering. And yet, if you're there on the home page, you can see these pictures very clearly. These are from a dentist office. All right. With the red, that man had chewed a plaque disclosing tablet. And then used the mouth rinse for 30 days and came back and chewed a plaque disclosing tablet. Now, this was done in a dentist evaluation. There was no hanky-panky going on there. He had brushed, he had flossed. This was an independent dentist did this evaluation. Colgate will tell you, factually, I believe, that the oral plaques are the problem for receding gums, for gums receding. The cause for gums receding. You get cannabis scheduled as essential for man and mammal. What's that going to do? All these traffic stops for cannabis, they're gone. They're done. All that power that they had, it's over. What about the bar attorneys? All those cases, all this legalization for medical and recreational, all this permission with your registration cards, gone. Now they got to reevaluate all those people that are in prison for their safety because cannabis was so harmful. So now you're going to empty out the prisons and the jails. You see how this works? What paperwork do you need? Now, I show you non-euphoric cannabis solution as a sunscreen. I show you cannabis non-euphoric solution as a relief for a sunburn, for a first-degree burn, a second-degree burn, a relief and a treatment, a healing. Cannabis is essential for man and mammal. Take that. There's the old system's coming down. There's a new system coming up. And there's a lot of you that are really, really motivated. Some of you got big into that bonds for the win. Where'd it get you? Nowhere. Some of you were truckers, big into go to DC. Where did that get us? Nowhere. A lot of you started following Chris Hauser. Where did that get you? Where did that get us? Nowhere. You get Yusuf and Alfonso teaching you the administrative process. Where's that getting you? You got Russell J. Gould, Russell hyphen J. Gould, period, full stop. You got Russell J. Gould. He's done tremendous things. I think that's done a lot. I'm not going to say where did that get you, but for those of you who have gotten the claim of life, for those of you who studied the quantum grammar, I'm going to say we're on our way. But I got to say, so far, where did that get you? Where's that powerful impact? That's all about owning your authority. That's all about truth. That's all about freedom. That's all about eliminating the fiction and the fraud and the enslavement. We need the kick. Now we have the right to travel. We have the right to carry. We have unalienable rights that were once constitutionally protected. I'm going to say again, they are constitutionally protected. If you know, down one of these rabbit holes, you're gonna learn lots of different things. But your unalienable rights are not given to you by your Constitution. They're cemented with that Constitution. They're declared. They're spelled out. Now, is it a fiction constitution? Is it a constitution of fact? All this brainwashing, all this manipulation, all this BS, none of this stuff matters. None of it. All the things that I've been through, all the things you've been through, not that they don't matter, but from this viewpoint I'm trying to give you, cannabis is scheduled as a Schedule I narcotic, zero medicinal value. For your safety, for your health, we've got a whole slew of things in that legal system that range anywhere from seed to sale tracking and recreational and medical to states that absolutely do not allow it. Federal law that will put you in prison. That's all there in the system. You know how wrong that is, right? Go to the description, click on the link for www.oralhealthwithcannabis.com. Go to the homepage there and look at the pictures: calcified plaque removal, gum tissue rejuvenation, tooth realignment. Listen to the testimonial. Scroll down. Look at cannabis as a sunscreen. I've talked about the patent. Extremely hard-won patent. All the battle for this, all I've been through. It's not that it doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter to this. The fact of the matter is, Schedule I narcotic, zero medicinal value, high propensity for abuse is what the judicial system, your bar members, they rely on. That's what these policy enforcers with these badges and the torture cuffs and their tasers, all right, they're going to invade your privacy. Well, you can stop having your privacy invaded because I smell marijuana. Okay. We just get this classified as essential. All you have to do is stand up. Now, I created a command letter. I've done talks on the command letter. You can search for those talks because command letter's in the title. The command letter is on the services page in the documents section. Americans Notice of Liability is there. You can prove this. To create a topical solution takes a matter of days. Prove it as a sunscreen. You have somebody who's got a sunburn. Ask them for their evaluation. Did it relieve their pain? It'll minimize the peeling. It'll aid in the healing. And a euphoric solution used topically, people have said that it affects them, but that's far and few between. And some of them I was there, and I'm going to have to say I don't think it affected them very much if they were affected, because they seemed just fine. I mean, they're absolutely able to function. But it doesn't matter. A formulation that would be definitely euphoric if you were to have it internally, used topically, works as a sunscreen, aids in sun tanning, aids in healing for burn, sunburn or first degree, second degree burn, aids in the healing, almost instant pain relief. It removes plaques. It prevents plaques. Plaques are harmful. Cannabis should not be a Schedule I narcotic with zero medicinal value. Science has no other way to rejuvenate your lost gum tissue, to prevent gum tissue loss, which leads to bone loss, which leads to loose teeth, which leads to so much more. By the time you got those loose teeth, you've probably had root canals. So it's just that simple. What paperwork do you need? Take that command letter to your dentist. The ADA needs ADA member, that private member association, which is responsible in part for your healthcare providers in the dentistry, the oral health profession. Now they do get a license from the state, so the state has responsibility too. But the state's not going to do anything about it, all right? I've been to congressman and senator after congressman and senator, governor after governor after governor. Okay, it's not that that stuff doesn't matter, but in the scheme here, it doesn't matter. You have to come together. You have to stand up. Now, I see that available online, we can get a list, an email list for the dentist per state for around $150 per state. So we could start out with an email campaign. Could come up with a nice little introductory paragraph or two. These are your public health care providers. They have a duty and a responsibility. But the ADA won't look at this unless a dentist brings it forward. The National Institute of Health put me on a merry-go-round, spent $1,800 million to find another way. The prosecutor who said there'd be no charges brought many felony charges on me the same month that the National Institute of Health ignored my findings and did what they did. But see, none of that matters. All the pain, all the suffering, all the education, everything you've done. It doesn't matter what you've done, what you know. You got that in your back pocket. You got that for your strength. And there's probably more for you to know. I'm learning all the time. But this is stupidly simple. Cannabis is essential for human health. You don't have to know a statute, an act, a code, a rule, a regulation. You don't have to understand the Constitution. You don't have to know quantum grammar. You don't have to. It doesn't matter if you're state, national, American national, a free man on planet Earth. It doesn't matter where you are in this. That's the only thing that matters. Cannabis is essential for man and mammal. Get that classification changed. You take a huge bite out of these prisons and these jails. You take a huge bite out of these policy enforcers that are so. You're seeing how brutal they are. These First Amendment auditors, and these First Amendment auditors are out there basically falling on the sword for you. To stand up for their rights. And most of them are dealing with lawsuits in that administrative slave system, which has got to be torn down. But they're doing a good job. They are. The system is eating itself, and that's part of it. But I don't want to see anybody falling on the sword for their freedom and their liberty, for the right to privacy, the right to industry, the right to be healthy, the right to be happy, the right to be safe and secure in their persons and papers and effects. So the KISS, keep it stupidly simple. Cannabis should not be a Schedule I narcotic, zero medicinal value. Why? We have the proof. And you can prove it yourself. You don't need a clinical trial from the AMA, American Medical Association. You don't need a clinical trial from the ADA, Private Member Association. All you got to do is create that topical. If you're in an area where you get sunshine and warm weather, you can prove it as a sunscreen. All right, you want to take a little bit more time? I show you how to create the mouth rinses, euphoric and non-euphoric. You can do the evaluations. You can know this for yourself. There's a lot of cannabis men out there, male and female. You're all over the place. But nobody in the business is going to bring this forward because of the government attack. So let's just take a big bite out of it. Let's change this classification with the DEA. I petitioned the DEA. I gave them the proof. I've been to the NIH. I've been to the ADA. I've been all over the world. What do you need for credibility? You got the pictures. You have the formulations, the knowledge. You got the patent. You got me connecting the dots of all these bad actors and all these bad actions that have led up to today and to this video. I never had any desire to be doing this. So because of everything that I've been through, I've been down all those rabbit holes that I was talking about. Now I got a good comment because I talked about this. I talked about this in a recent video, and so I'm gonna unlock this little electronic device here that does so much for us, and I'll see how quick I can pull this comment up because I want to get it right. All right. So this was from my talk, All Freedom Fighters Should Consider. And because I talk about paperwork, right? All this paperwork that's created, you got all this study that goes into it, and then who are you going to send it to? What effects it going to have, right? And so Sea Whale responded, nothing burgers and great paperwork shuffles of 2020 hyphen 2022. And that's what I'm talking about. All this study, all this paper, all this confusion. Let's take something that's so powerful and make it so simple and take a big bite out of this enslavement system. You get cannabis classified as essential for good reason, because it is essential, and I've proven it. The work has been done. You can duplicate my processes. You can duplicate my experiments. It's repeatable. That's scientific. So for your safety and for your health and for your benefit, I'm of the very strong opinion that this should be provided for you. You certainly shouldn't have your rights stripped from you, your privacy invaded, tracked and traced, administrated, bound, kidnapped, imprisoned, not for something that's essential for your health, for your safety, to prevent you from the harm of bad oral health. It's that simple. Look at the bite it will take out of all these oppressive systems. So just, you got to come together. You're smart enough to understand that. You're smart enough to get this. I don't want to say stand, understand, all that, get all this bastardization language. I'm talking to you basically with the language that we all speak to each other. Not legalese, not quantum grammar, just our typical language. You got to understand what my volition is, where my heart is. I'm just here to spit some truth at you and make this so simple for you to own your authority and do your part to tear down the system and build up the new system. All right, everybody, I'm going to be back to talk about this more. I have to, because I have to get this talk down. Attention spans are really short. People are really frustrated. It might be hard for some people to get the picture. So if I can just if I can, any little spark I can create, well, that can help start a flame. So if I get through to one person, and I got a comment from that previous video, so hopefully I get some more comments. Give me some thumbs up if you would. I'll be back with more. Own your authority, people. Cannabis is essential, man and mammal. So let's get it out of that Schedule 1 narcotic position and watch things change. Your freedom, your liberty, your privacy. Own your authority. Bye for now.